Hello, everyone. Just give you a brief update. We are only 2 papers between you and the happy hour. Okay? Actually, the happiest moment for me today already happened. It is the time when I met Dr. Johnson. Are you here? Yes, there. Yeah, he was my professor while I was a PhD student at Illinois. And actually, I really learned a lot from him. I learned how to be a better person. Maybe I even learned how to be a happy person. Actually, I'm too happy today. So in case I stutter today during my presentation, it's because I'm too emotional. It's because of him. Okay, not my fault. Yeah. And let's back to the paper. I will make it really short. So this is one of a series of big projects. I worked with Vittoria, and she is in Switzerland, and she's now in Australia. And our paper has something in common with Professor Teufel's. It's more about how the format changes something. And we did a bunch of papers on how the format of some new media will change the credibility and objectivity, and how people will communicate with like a crisis informations, like the wars. So let me start. So, and I want to ask you, how many of you get news from social media? All kinds of social media. Okay, a lot. So how many of you trust social media? Very few, yeah. Basically, that's what we're doing. And we're mainly, this paper is mainly about how curated story will impact people's trust or maybe people's feeling about objectivity of online news. So very often, actually today, the younger people, they rely less and less on the traditional news format. And there are a bunch of, like in my class, a lot of my students, even they are journalists and majors, they don't really read like the very thick traditional hard copy newspaper. And sometimes they call themselves newsless, the new generation. Maybe it's coming up, and they get their news from all kinds of Twitters and from social media, but they don't trust them. They think it's like a big basket. Anyone can put anything there, but at the same time, they're not really paying a lot of attention to the big names like New York Times or other big newspapers. So what will happen under such a scenario? And there are a lot of new kind of newspapers like Storify or Paperly, where you as a user, you can be an editor and you can make a newspaper just with that software very, very easily. And we call that curation format. And the curated stories, it has a lot of strengths. For example, if you are a curator, you could get a lot of information from different people. So you got different voices heard. And on the other hand, the many editors who are using the curation, they are not really professional. See, they might not have the skills to edit or organize their stuff. So this is our main concern. And we focused on the format called Storify, and it is one of a popular, maybe more popular in Europe than here. So we focused on that. So curation has been used by a lot of big news organizations already. So our research question is like, how will Storify impact just the format of presenting information? How will the format impact its perceived objectivity? Okay, So the literature review, we started with the different feelings or definitions of objectivity. I think I have one more. So basically, I'm sorry, objectivity, it has two dimensions. The first one is based on this. Say, here is a big story, and then you can cover on mainly this side, or you can cover on both sides. So objectivity means you need to cover as complete as you can. And there's another kind of another dimension. It's not just the facts. It's also the opinions. So if you want to be really objective, you want to cover all the different opinions toward things. And very often, news is not just the basic facts. And very often, we will give background issues and the deeper analysis of different things. So we did an experiment with 3 scenarios. And we made the first one just a very, very, very common traditional online news with a professional author. And then we had 2 Storify formats. The first one, we had a professional author, and the second one, we had a amateur author. And we basically compared these 3 formats. And the results showed the format did make a big difference. And the traditional format showed a higher rating in objectivity. And also, the author profile also makes a difference. Like the professional authors, they were rated more. Actually, in our 3 groups, our stimuli are same. The contents are same. Just the information of the author, we replaced it. So actually, the content does not really matter as much as the author, as well as the format. That's the basic finding we found. And then we want to know what if, so we know author is a factor of objectivity. That's nothing new. And we also know format is also a factor of objectivity. Then between author and the format, which is stronger? Then we did a follow-up analysis, which is the format versus the author. And actually, our finding is actually format is plays a bigger role than the author. So with the professional author, there is a significant difference between traditional and the Storify formats. And with the Storify, with the same format, there is no difference between professional and the amateur authors. That means the author does not make a difference with this new format, as far as we have found. Okay? And also, I want to say, all the results, this is just a case study. The whole project is still on its initial stage. So we are not saying this is the truth. This is truth so far. Okay. So and for the discussion part, how do you judge the objectivity of an article? Actually, it depends on the format, and the format is even more important than the authorship in the case study. And some participants in our experiment, we asked them to, we have some open questions to let them give us some inputs. And here are some citations from them. They said, raw citations make it difficult to sort out and judge the quality of the article. That's why this Storify format is not recognized very well. And the raw information does not help to understand the event. Maybe the raw pieces from across the media, we got it too abruptly. The writing was not really edited very well. And how does the authorship matter? The writers from professional fields, they have a better writing for sure. And it looks cleaner and more objective. And neutral neutrality of the author. Some participants said when the two parts of a conflict are exposed, none is judged better than the other. And someone said absolute objective is just impossible. Actually, I agree with that. And for implications for future study, we actually, implications for journalists, actually, the main thing we learned from this piece is the importance of first impression. When you see something from a social media format, you already, before you read the first row, you already lowered your estimation of it. And then if you see something, it's like you see something from a Walmart versus you see something from a high-end brand store. It's the format, yeah. That's it. Thank you.